I once asked one of my best friends to describe me in 5 words. Things like joyful, friendly, spontaneous, naive. Wait a moment, naive? Really? Yeah, you know, like, I mean it in a good way, really, like in, like, not a bad way, but a good way. And it made me think, like, what could possibly be good about being naive? And it made me think more of like all the really embarrassing things that happened in my life, like when I tried to fake myself through a math exam at school, or when I believed the dentist that the root canal treatment won't hurt and things like that. Or when I met this one guy for a date. And I was thinking, maybe let's go on a second date. He was nice, he was, you know, cute and smart and a little bit shy and a really nice first date, so let's go on a second one. And as you do when you're planning a second date, I was going into my WhatsApp and there's a profile picture and you just zoom in a little bit, you know, like the weird things you do. And then I was looking and then I saw it and I thought, it can't be true. I looked again and it was true. It was his tattoo on his arm. And it was a quite stylish and cool black pattern, but it also had little white skin Hakenkreuze as part of that. And for the non-Germans, a Hakenkreuz is a swastika, which is the Nazi symbol from the Second World War. And I was like, okay, now I absolutely have to go on a date with this guy. Because I thought, in the height of my naivety, someone has to tell him. He did not realize that there were Hakenkreuze in this pattern, and I would, you know, go on this date and find a good moment and tell him. And that moment never came. I told him anyways. Oh, yeah, I'm glad you asked, he said, and pulled up the sleeve of his other arm and showed me another big Hakenkreuz tattooed on his arm. And I was like, okay, maybe these Hakenkreuze are not there by mistake. But before I could realize what was actually happening, he started to talk to me about the swastika symbol and how it's a happiness symbol in lots of different cultures and how it was abused by the Nazis, and that, you know, he had this different observation of the whole symbol and he wanted to make a difference by wearing the symbol for something else. And you know, I still feel that it's really weird to have these symbols across your body in any shape or form. But I will say that this was a good guy, and without being naive and going on this second date with him, I would probably never have found out. And it made me think maybe being naive can have good things to it. Like, I found out that he is caring, he is a volunteer at a NGO and doing youth camps, and like, he was not a Nazi. And it made me think even more, like, there are other things that are good about being naive at times. And I grew up in a place in the south of Germany, in a village with 60 people. It's probably now 59, like I'm not there anymore, so, you know, it's a little bit less. And that's a place where I was being called naive for many things, like going to university, naive. No one ever did that in our family. Studying in New York on a scholarship, naive. Dressing in a Leo print skirt and telling a story on a stage in Berlin. Did I do it anyways? Yes. Thank you.